one of the teams that I keep hearing about as don't overlook them. I can't even say they're a sleeper team anymore because their bandwagon appears to be full as the Denver Broncos. And you obviously know Sean Payton very well, won a Super Bowl with him. What he's built in Denver so quickly with Bo Nix after creating Russell Wilson becoming the biggest dead cap hit in the history of the NFL is nothing short of remarkable. What's he cooking? What do you like? What is he selling that you think that the Broncos are buying from your knowledge of what Sean Payton does to put a team together, Jonathan?
So let's take a step back.
Sure.
If you remember, the players when Sean first got there, they were actually reporting him to the NFLPA because they were saying he was practicing too hard. Practices were too long, and it was just a matter of time until they started to buy in. So why did they buy in? Well, I'm a firm believer, as he did with the Saints, you are coaching the best of the best. We're all competitors, and we want to be challenged. The really, really good players, the real competitors, the true champions, they want to be challenged day in and day out. And Sean Payton always recognized that. It was less about, okay, how talented is the player? It was more about what is his makeup? What is his pedigree? Where did he come from? Is he going to respond to me challenging him? And so when Sean Payton gets to Denver, what you have is a culture shock. And he knew that his way works, right? He was under Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells had a ton of success. He would still talk to Parcells on a weekly basis, even when he was with the Saints. And so I always remembered when he would potentially bring in a free agent, he would ask me, he would ask Drew Brees, he would ask some of the older veterans, hey, I'm bringing in this guy. Have you heard of him? What do you think about him? Do you think he's a good fit? Is he going to fall in line with our culture? So now at Denver, it took a little bit, took an adjustment, but what he did was change the culture. And then naturally, you start to see the winning happen. The reason you see the winning happen is because, again, forget athleticism for a second. You have discipline, you have toughness. You have guys that are holding each other accountable. You have guys that don't make mental errors. So now it becomes less about winning the game. They're just doing their part not to lose the game. Let the other team mess it up. Let the other team turn the ball over. Let the other team have mental errors and busts, etc. So now you're bringing a Bo Nix. Bo Nix only knows Sean Payton's way, right? That he comes in, he's being coached tough. He responds to it. He's gotten better as the season went on last year. So you have a player in Bo Nix that now falls in line with this culture. The defense is outstanding. Vance Joseph is doing an awesome job with that defense. And then you tell Bo Nix, hey, look, you don't have to be the man. You're not Drew Brees, and I'm not trying to coach you to be Drew Brees. I want you to be disciplined. I want you to make the right decisions. I want you to take care of the football, and eventually you will lead this team. And that's why everyone is starting to jump on the bandwagon, because you can see from just watching it, your eyes are telling you this is good football. This is a team that plays hard. They get after it. They may not win every game, but they're going to give you everything they have. And now we're looking at Bo Nix. We're looking at the continuity to say, well, okay, he had a good year last year. He should get better this year. And if that's the case, those games that they lost by 3 points or to Cincinnati Bengals late in the season, they should win those games with Bo Nix making a play or two that they need him to do down the stretch.
ESPN had its analytic writers rank the 32 best rosters. The Sean Payton effect. Denver's at 6, and 32, dead last is the Saints. So I'm going to suggest it is not a coincidence that the Saints have nosedive in personnel to dead last in the league analytically, and the Broncos are suddenly 6th. And to me, Andy Reid, Sean Payton, and Sean McVay have sort of separated from the league in coaching. If you look at the rising Broncos, not only was the culture broken in Denver, the quarterback was broken, the dead cap money was going to be unbelievable, the offensive line was a mess. By the end of his first year, it was a top 12 offensive line. That's Sean Payton. And right now,
the year the NFL wakes up to a seismic shift, the Denver Broncos, once a broken franchise buried under a decade of despair, are no longer a punchline, they're a predator. After Super Bowl 50, Denver cycled through 12 quarterbacks, burned through 86 players in 2022 alone, and suffered a soul-crushing 5-12 record that same year. Fans wept, rivals laughed, and hope was a distant memory. But enter Sean Payton, the Super Bowl-winning genius who flipped the script. With rookie sensation Bo Nix at the helm, the Broncos aren't just back, they're a dark horse ready to trample the league's elite. How did they rise from the ashes so fast? Why is the NFL trembling? This is no fairy tale, it's a calculated revolution, and we're breaking it down right now. Sean Payton didn't just rebuild a team, he built a culture. Let's uncover the blueprint that's shaking the NFL to its core. Sean Payton doesn't chase flashy highlight reels or social media hype. This man, forged under the iron fist of Bill Parcells, lives for one thing: culture. When he arrived in Denver in 2023, players rebelled, reporting him to the NFLPA for practices they called grueling and inhumane. Too long, too tough. But Payton didn't blink. Why? Because he knows what makes champions tick. He learned it from Parcells, from Drew Brees, from a Super Bowl triumph in New Orleans. It's not about raw talent, it's about discipline, toughness, and zero mental errors. Payton handpicked his roster, grilling veterans like Cortland Sutton and Quinn Miners. Is this guy a fit? Will he fight for our culture? By 2024, the results spoke. Denver slashed injuries by 30% from 2022's 130 missed games, led the NFL with 63 sacks, third most this century, and turned chaos into a 10-7 playoff squad. This isn't luck, it's Payton's doctrine. Don't lose the game, let your opponent implode. But a coach needs a quarterback to execute his vision. Enter Bo Nix, the rookie who's rewriting Denver's destiny. How did he become Payton's perfect weapon? Bo Nix is no Drew Brees, and Sean Payton doesn't care. That's why he's terrifying. Drafted 12th overall in 2024, Nix arrived with an NCAA record 61 college starts and a jaw-dropping 77.4% completion rate, best in a single season ever. At 24, he was battle-tested, a leader who thrived under Payton's relentless coaching. In his rookie year, Nix torched defenses for 3,775 yards, 29 touchdowns, and just 12 interceptions, powering Denver to a 10-7 record and their first playoff berth since 2015. Oh, and he added 430 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns for good measure. Payton calls him a top 4 or top 5 QB by 2027. But here's the controversy. ESPN's Seth Walder had the audacity to predict Nix will lose his job by 2027. Payton's clapback? 2027? That's an eternity. I'm not worried about some guy named Seth. Savage, bold. And exactly why Broncos country is all in on Nix. He's not just a quarterback, he's the heartbeat of a franchise reborn. Nix can't do it alone. Let's meet the offensive weapons Payton assembled to make Denver unstoppable in 2025. Sean Payton didn't just draft Bo Nix, he armed him with a lethal arsenal. Cortland Sutton, a monster with 81 catches, 1,081 yards, and 8 touchdowns in 2024, Nix's go-to weapon. Marvin Mims Jr., a speed demon who stretches defenses thin. Troy Franklin, Nix's Oregon teammate, is ready to explode after Denver traded Devon Vele to New Orleans for a 4th-round pick. A move Payton called gut-wrenching but necessary. Then there's Evan Engram, the Joker tight end with 114 catches in 2023, a walking mismatch who'll shred linebackers. The running game? Revamped with 2nd-round pick R.J., Harvey's breakaway speed, and J.K. Dobbins' bone-crushing blocks. The offensive line, anchored by All-Pro Quinn Miners, allowed just 23 sacks in 2024, top 5-inch the NFL. This isn't an offense, it's a machine. But can they stay healthy enough to dominate? Offense wins games, but defense wins championships. Wait until you hear about the unit that's making quarterbacks quiver. Denver's offense is fire, but their defense? It's a nightmare. In 2024, they led the NFL with 63 sacks, 3rd most this century. Nick Bonito, a pass-rushing demon, racked up 13, 5 sacks, a 50-yard fumble return TD, and a 70-yard pick 6. Pat Surtain, too, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, locked down receivers with 4 interceptions, including a 100-yard pick six. Add Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufanga, ex-49ers with all-pro pedigrees, and this secondary is a graveyard for passing attacks. The catch? Greenlaw and Hufanga's injury histories. Peyton's response? We thrive on risk. With Vance Joseph dialing up blitzes, this defense doesn't just stop you, it humiliates you. The Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens better sleep with one eye open, because Denver's defense is coming for blood. Can this team put it all together? Let's see why Denver's 2025 campaign is the NFL's worst fear. The Denver Broncos aren't dreaming of greatness, they're demanding it. In 2024, they shocked the NFL with a 10-7 record and a playoff berth, their first since 2015. Sean Payton's culture, Bo Nix's precision, and a roster dripping with talent have turned a laughingstock into a Super Bowl contender. Payton's not shy about it. We're not here for the AFC West, we want everything. The doubters? They're loud. ESPN's wild claim that Knicks will crash and burn by 2027. Absurd. This team plays with fire, discipline, and unrelenting heart, with a top 5 offensive line, a defense that led the league in sacks, and a coach-quarterback duo that's pure magic. Denver is the NFL's darkest horse. In 2025, they're not just knocking on the door, they're kicking it down. Don't sleep on Denver, because when the season ends, they might be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. Are you ready for the Broncos' 2025 takeover? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for more NFL breakdowns. Drop a comment. Are the Broncos Super Bowl bound, or is the hype too much? Let's spark this debate now.